Discord is a good idea. There we go. Test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Volume, test 1, 2. All right. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, I was wrong about homeless listeners.
Let's do the Taco Bell strangle.
You made Gabe face.
Should have gotten the right chicken.
Marshmallow Man is not happy.
Oh, Therapy Thursday and more. Maybe he can help Marshmallow Man on this, or she, on this episode of the morning stream.
It is of a silvery luster, but be careful about exposing it to the air since it will tarnish readily.
This is the morning stream. Is it over yet?
Welcome back to TMS, everybody. It is the morning stream for April 4th, 2019. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Good morning, Brian Ibbett.
Hello. Good morning, Scott. And please, for the record, let it be known that I do know your sister is a lady.
Yes.
Coming off the Marshmallow Man thing and went with the wrong pronoun.
It's all good. Listen, we're in
It was
a
a
much
con
more
noun, not a pronoun.
we're in a much more fluid gendered period of time. And, you can say whatever you want. It's totally fine. She won't mind. Yeah, my sister will be here later. I'm excited because it really has taken off, this whole shorter questions via Twitter and her answering them. I don't know why people like it so much, but I get all kinds of feedback saying, oh, I love these. I think maybe it's because we get 2 or 3 a time. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
It's probably that, and also just because there's probably, it feels like there's a little more pressure on somebody to write out a big, long explanation of their situation when, we could probably all sum up all the problems we have in 288 characters.
Yeah, I think you're right. But she likes it. We've been liking it. We're going to keep doing that for a little while. Yeah. We'll see. It doesn't mean if somebody doesn't send like a really good or important email, we won't do it. We will. And you can keep sending those to themorningstream@gmail.com. But we'll do it. We have these other methods to do things. Now, I lost my voice almost entirely last night. I don't suspect it will happen here. It should be fine. We'll get through this show. It'll all be good. And we're looking forward to bringing a full deal. All right.
I'm not at all concerned. I think it'll be marvelous and magical.
Oh, good.
The two.
And
the two M words that I would use to describe today.
Yeah. There are a lot of F-bombs in the marvelous Miss Maisel. I just want to put it out there.
Yeah.
And it usually only
mostly
happens
coming out of Alex Borstein.
Yes, she is an F-bomb queen. And it almost always, it's funny, it's almost like that's 2 shows. It's the running around with her parents stuff is that, and then when she gets with Alex Borstein and they're in bars, the F-bombs roll. It's interesting. Like, go ahead.
You're in the season now where, so it's season 2, I'm assuming, and
yes,
where they're basically staying at that place that Patrick Swayze met Baby in Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, the Catskills place, like
the Catskills
Jewish person camp or whatever it is.
Whatever it was called in Dirty Dancing, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because I'd always heard about those, like some famous old comedian performing at the Catskills this weekend only, and I never knew where that was or what that meant or any of that. Now I get it. It's like big family camp out restaurant thing.
Yeah, but it's like cool. Right, and it's like, all right, activities going on every day. When Tim and I were in Vermont last year, we went, one of the places that my folks took us was to the Von Trapp house or Von Trapp resort, and it is truly the Von Trapps from The Sound of Music, the actual Von Trapps that escaped with The Sound of Music, and probably more things that were more helpful than just The Sound of Music.
Sure.
But they opened up a resort, and it's one of these places where you go there for several days, and in addition to having your Echo was gone until just right then, but
I know.
It's gone again. All right, we're crossing.
We're good. We're good. Keep those fingers crossed.
But every day was a different event, or a different set of things you could do, activities and stuff. So it's like learn milking over here, or Thursday nights we watch The Sound of Music and we all sing along with it, or things like that. And it was it's cool. It's like I've never been to a place like that. I've certainly never stayed at a place like that, but the only exposure I've ever had to a place like that was just seeing stuff in movies like Maisel and Dirty Dancing and
yeah, I'd forgotten about Dirty Dancing, but you're right. That is I assume it's the same thing. It's the same sort of deal, right?
Does it feel more like an East Coast thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is not something like in California. They don't have like a.
I mean, they
let's
might
go up to the mountains to the resort.
Yeah, they might, but to me, it very much feels like a East Coast or as they say in the chat room, the Borscht Belt or whatever that is.
It's the big Jewish stripe.
Yeah. Whatever that is, that's a real thing, right, Chad? I don't even know. I'm super newbie to this, but it's fascinating. That show's really well made. It's good.
Yeah, it really is.
I want to. I mean, I think Tony Shalhoub is a national treasure, and we should all just acknowledge it daily.
He's great.
I love
especially
him.
his just put upon frustrated. I don't know if I like this character more or the Wings character that. Oh no, you know who I like most of Tony Shalhoub is his freaking out, frazzled taxicab character from the Bill Murray movie Quick Change.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that. You love that movie.
I love that movie. That's like we
should watch
an unapologetic. I'm not even going to call it a guilty pleasure because I feel no guilt at all for loving that movie.
Yeah, he's great in Galaxy Quest. Chat points out. Monk was a great show. Loved that. Yeah, he's just awesome, and he doesn't age. I don't think he's getting any older. He's like he called up the Ant-Man and said, "Hey, what are you having?" And now they're all on.
Hey, Paul Rudd. I'll have some. I'll have what he's having.
Yeah, Paul Rudd.
My guess is with Tony Shalhoub though, he looked like he looks now at about 15.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked 49 at 15. I think you're right.
Exactly. But then he just hung at 49 and just continued to hang at 49.
Yeah, the guy's in his late 50s, maybe pushing 60, and he's just doesn't show it. But anyway, the lesson of the day is let's all be more like Tony Shalhoub.
Let's be like Tony. I'll adopt the phrase, what would Tony Shalhoub do?
Yeah. And he'd probably just sit at the bar. Shalhoub do. There you go. Shalhoub do. I mean, I'll bet if I went and watched Wings right now, like an episode of Wings, I'd go, oh, okay, well, he has aged. But in my head, he hasn't aged at all. All right, I got to warn the chat room and the people at home. I'm trying something a little different. As you know, Brian and I have struggled with a little bit of echo. Brian gets a little echo on his end. Yes. We don't know why. It's weird because as it stands right now, he's the only one getting it from me, and I don't know why. So we're going to try to troubleshoot it.
Sometimes it gets really bad.
Yeah, just like that. Hear that? Imagine how Brian feels. That's in his head all the time.
Right. It's actually, let's see. I'll tell you what it's more like. Let me find it because I have to go through the dials to find which one it is.
Okay.
But it's almost like this.
Oh Lord. Really?
Well, not quite that bad. Oh, listen to this.
Ooh, this is all right.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, welcome to the tiny. It sounds like you're in a little bunker thing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, ooh,
everyone stay out of the food. The zombies are coming. We need this the last 6 months is what you should say when I hear that voice.
It's probably, except without the multiple echoes.
All right, but see, what you've done is you've given them a taste, okay?
Right, yes, exactly.
But Brian's the only one
in my life.
And Brian's the only one that can hear it. You guys don't hear it, neither do I, so that's good. But as you can hear right now, no backing music right now. There's none. I have a theory. I have a theory that what might be happening is it's picking that up when there's a break, and then it's overcasting it when you talk.
Because you don't do background. Do you do background music on Boop and
no other shows?
Oh,
this is the only show I do it on, and there's no reason I don't need to do it. It's just a tradition. It's just a kind of a morning show trope.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I miss it. I feel like I actually currently feel like I'm naked right now.
Yeah, it does feel a little weird because people are used to it or whatever. We usually have this little jazzy backtracking. It is a tradition, but I want to just for today anyway. We're gonna just see what happens if it's any better. Like since I did that, have you noticed any echo other than your?
No, I have not noticed any echo. Okay. Like if there's been any echo, it's been really brief. So it's wow, interesting. And there's probably no way you'd be able to do the background music.
I just have to do it later. I'd have to put it in post or something, but I don't want to do that. It's a pain in the ass.
I'm just wondering if there's a way to insert it in the line. If this flow chart is the line of you to me to the audience to the recording, if there's a way to put it after me, but before the audience and before the recording.
Exactly. Well, I mean, look, like they say, like someone just said in the chat, Tazoriel said, congratulations, we just used the scientific method. We did. We're slowly chipping away at this pyramid. We're at the tip. We're going to work our way down. Bear with us today. If it sounds a little vacant, just think of it as Film Sack, Brian. We don't have one on Film Sack, so it's like just a thing that we're going to try today.
We don't. Yeah, I know. It's weird that we don't.
Yeah. So there you have it.
But I was hearing it during Film Sack. So maybe Randy is our music in place of... Oh, see, I'm getting a little bit of echo right now, but a little bit.
But is it only when I say things over you?
Probably,
right?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why I think the music is acting as that. When you're just talking, it's making you fight with that. And for whatever reason, you still shouldn't be doing it, but for whatever reason, your end is picking it up, and it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So what we can, basically, I'm at the ginormous chalkboard in front of the whole class, and I've just finished my massive equation that I've been writing furiously for the last 20 minutes, and finally get to the end, and it comes down to, Discord sucks.
Yeah, Discord sucks. There you go. Done it. Nice job.
Put down the chalk, I wipe my hands, and I say class dismissed.
Yeah, but the nerd in the back raises his hand, goes, but Mr. Ibbott, so does Skype. And then what do you say to that? What do you say then?
I say, oh, all right, let me get the eraser out, and I erase the whole equation.
Because the truth is, here's what the class doesn't know, and they'll learn this by the end of the class or by the end of the term. And their grade depends on this class.
Yeah.
All VoIP internet software right now kind of blows in their own special way. All of them have a problem. They're all different problems. If they could just if one could come forward and say, here's a solution that works every time for everybody, boy, howdy, that would be great. Ooh, I just had a theory. Okay, I'll talk about that later.
Ooh, okay, all right.
I'm doing this in real time here, folks. I got an email from a listener named William who wanted me to know something. I had made a random comment the other day that if you're homeless, you're not hearing this show. In other words, like, I think we had a conversation about some homeless issue. What was it?
We were talking about Patreon and saying, hey, you know, if you can afford to, throw us a couple bucks. We'd love to get your support. If you can, you know, or let's say you're homeless, then don't. But I guess you're probably not hearing us if you're homeless.
There you go. I think that was exactly it. You have a better memory than me. I don't remember anything. So
I've got a mind like a steel trap. One of these days, my neck is going to open up, snap shut, and swallow my brain.
Oh my gosh, my dad used to say, "I have a brain." He'd say, "I have a brain like a sieve." He'd say,
like a sieve. Yes, right.
What is with our dad's generation?
Thomas Dolby sang a song called "My Brain Is Like a Sieve."
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. My dad always used the word sieve constantly, like it was some hot term. Yeah, and it drove me crazy growing up. I hated it.
We don't. When was the last time anyone of our age used a sieve?
Yeah. What's a
and I'm not just talking about a really good tank in World of Warcraft that I don't have on my team anymore, but
exactly. Like, what is a sieve?
We miss you, Civ.
Yeah, Civ the what do you call himself? Civ the Great? Civ the Great.
Yeah, I think that's right.
We miss you, buddy. Actually,
Jeannie says use a drain pasta. No, Jeannie, I use a colander to drain pasta.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might even just use the lid of the pot in which I cook the pasta to drain the pasta.
I use a calendar, but only months that have already passed, so I don't have to look at those months anymore. I use a calendar. Anyway, so here's the deal. William wrote in.
Dump it all in the sink, and then I put the pasta back in the pot. Piece by piece.
I had good pasta last night. Speaking of pasta. Anyway, so William Townsend wrote in, and he says this. He says, I'm catching up on TMS today. And the other day, you made an offhand comment that made it sound like you doubted that homeless people listen to the show. And as someone who is currently homeless, I wanted to let you know that you and Brian really mean a lot to me and really helped me through the day. Thanks for the free audio, bro. So I have a question about. I think that's awesome, by the way. Yes. And I hope things turn for you, unless this is a choice.
I think it's awesome that he listens to us and that we brighten his day. Neither of us think that it's awesome that he's homeless.
Right, and maybe he wants to be. I mean, we don't have a lot of info here. I don't know if it's like a life choice or what's going on, but I'm very curious about it. When I was in China, I can't.
You can solve the homeless problem. Just buy a house.
Yeah, if you can't. Get a house, duh. Who was that from? Some lady said that.
There was some lady on YouTube, and it turned into like a big meme that is all over Neverthink.
Yeah, I don't like it.
China.
Anyway, China. When I was in China, a long time ago, Did you hear him say orange the other day when he was trying to say origins, and then he did it like 3 times? Did you hear that by chance?
No, really?
Yeah, it's actually concerning. He said he was talking about the origins of something, but he said oranges.
The oranges.
And then he stopped himself. He stopped himself and went oranges, and then said it again, and then said beginnings, and then went on to talk. And then
like a Sylvester thing, like a
Porky the Pig or whatever.
Bobby, I'm going crazy.
Yeah. And at the end, he did it again. He meant to say origins again and just said oranges and didn't even stop. Just kept going with oranges.
Huh.
Yeah.
Origins, the new black.
I have a. Oh, I loved Assassin's Creed Oranges. It was so good.
Darn it. I saw that before. I said that before I saw it, Dealey Mike. You get credit because I think you did say that before I said it, but I didn't see your saying of it before I said it. So there you go.
Great minds think alike. It's fine.
Yes.
So the point is that he kept rambling about it. And this is not anti-Trump. I'm actually concerned. I have a doctor friend who diagnoses and deals with early Alzheimer's patients, and he says this is a symptom of that. It's when you got a name and the word just won't get fixed. It just you've interchanged them and they won't go back. And I said, I think I do that on the show. Are you telling me I have early onset Alzheimer's or something? He says, no, it's not the same. You're just being a jackass. That's literally his words.
Well, thank you for explaining away a possible medical condition with jackassery.
Yeah, he just says I'm being a jackass, but whatever. Anyway, the point is,
on me. How come when he called Tim Cook Tim Apple? Mm-hmm. Tim didn't turn around and say, "Okay, Donald Orange."
Yeah, that's what I would have done. Tim Cook's too nice of a guy.
Way too nice.
Yeah, he's a legitimate, professional man in every way, and there's no way he was going to correct it. But I want to. If I was him, I would want to go. I just want to say something or laugh or something. I would have done something.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. No, I think you did the right thing. Change your Twitter handle to be Tim Apple and just kind of go, oh, you.
I mean, what would you call it? Donald Casino. Nope, that doesn't work because those all failed.
Donald University. Oh, no.
Oh, shoot.
No.
Donald Steaks. Oh,
Donald
shoot.
Steaks.
Shoot. Those failed as well. So what's left? Donald Big Building.
Right, we're slipping into jury territory.
Yeah, I don't want to. This isn't political. It's just a weird thing.
It's not Thursday. It's not Tuesday.
Yeah. But anyway, so what was my...
We were talking about William.
Oh, yeah.
Big shout out to...
Another sign of my jackassery, forgetting what we were doing. All right. So so my question is to him and others like him. I assume he's probably not the only one. Mm-hmm. What do you do? Are you just on a phone plan that allows for data like a show to download and it's okay?
He could even be on with a phone that doesn't have cellular, or that he's not paying for cellular service, using just the Wi-Fi. And
oh, good point. Go to a Starbucks, download a show.
Go to Starbucks or McDonald's or something, any place that's got free Wi-Fi. Oh, yeah, the library.
Yep. Sure. And I don't mean any of this facetiously. I'm just genuinely curious, and I actually think it's really cool. Oh, my whole point about China. I was in China, and I noticed that everybody from the rich dudes who owned the factories and were the kind of higher ups, there was a very class system there when I was there in this city in Shenzhen. I don't know if it's any different now. Probably isn't. But at the time, the rich dudes, they all had cell phones. All the way down to the homeless people I saw in the gutters, they had cell phones. And I thought that was amazing. I was like, what in the world? It was almost like a weird human right that everybody had a cell phone. And this is pre-smartphones. So it was all
really? So this is in the era, like the flip phones and stuff like that.
Yeah, like crappy little flip phones and bricks and stuff. Yeah. And so now I assume it's even more so that everybody's got some sort of smart device. And it occurred to me yesterday, after reading this email, it has become kind of like a human right to have that connection to the rest of everything else in a weird way.
Maybe not a right, but a necessity. Like even if you had very little else, I think you'd still want, this would be your way of communicating with your family or finding out if there's room at shelter X versus shelter Y or things like that. I imagine, it's kind of like, all right, I need clothes, I need water, I need food, and I need connectivity of some sort.
Yeah. Never go to shelter X, by the way. It's rough business.
Shelter X is rough. Yeah. It's a
2-drink minimum. You got naked ladies. Well, maybe it's a good time. Maybe actually
that's
Shelter
X. Triple X. That's Shelter Triple X.
Anyway, I want to just thank him for that, and also express these weird feelings I have about somebody who's homeless, and that we make a difference. I like to think we do. Like, I think we try to be funny, and we try to bring people something every day that takes them out of either their humdrum or the hard bits they have to deal with. I know it does for me. So I hope
that's for me too.
I hope there are others like William who benefit in that way. And even if you aren't homeless and have all you need, I hope the show also provides you. We're all different places in our life. I hope it provides those people with entertainment and good times and community and all that stuff. So
yeah. Well said.
I'm feeling a little, not maudlin. What's the word? I'm feeling a little
melancholy.
Not melancholy. It's not, because it's not a negative thing. I'm just feeling grateful. I'm grateful for our community. They're just rad.
Oh yeah.
They're diverse. They're everybody. They're nobody. They're 1,000 faces of difference. Like, everybody's so different. They've all got their own. This sounds stupidly obvious, but I never really think about it. Sometimes I just think, there's the camera. Here's our notes. Let's read. Let's go. And you forget that there's just all these different demographics in those 30,000 or so people that download the show, plus all these great live people who, we don't have a show without them. So I don't know.
And that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, I'm guilty of doing that. Like, I'll say, oh, look at the people, that we're talking to right now, and kind of think of that as the immediate community. But there is this much larger, there's so many people who can't be here live to listen to the show and tune in. They're at work. They're making the world turn, basically.
Yeah. And they're everywhere. They're
or for whatever reason, school or work or different parts of the world where they're probably still sleeping, or they should be sleeping. Gidget.
Is she in here today?
I think so.
She should be. So her and Zoe. Well, no, Zoe's all right. It's like afternoon there.
Yeah, it's like early evening for Zoe, but
those Australians, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, just the fact that people come in here live, I tend to just think of this little group. And that kind of reminds me, we've got a person to kind of give a shout out to.
Oh, who's that?
There's someone who can't be here live, Jay Scarpacci, who sent us copies of her novel Leaving Earth.
Oh, cool.
To give away on the stream.
Oh, awesome. Are we doing that today?
We could. We have 5 copies. She sent you 5 copies earlier in the week, maybe?
Oh, I did get the email.
Yes.
You know what? Let's do one, and I'm going to use this Nightbot thing, which is awesome because it lets me do giveaways randomly, and we don't have to track anything.
And maybe people who tweet in with questions. Are we doing tweets or call nows for Wendy?
We're doing tweets today.
Okay.
But we could easily give stuff away there. That's fine. Tweets are fine.
Sure.
I like tweets. Chat room, type some stuff so that you're included in this group. The way this thing works is you kind of have to be in there saying things.
I was the first one, by the way, with the smart ass response of this.
Yeah, this. Okay, good. They're typing things. They're now all eligible. So let's do one right now. Let's just do one.
Cool.
Here's you know what? I feel like theming this up and everything. Let's do this. How about this? All right, here we go. Our winner of a digital book. I'm going to just pull up the email. I have it right here.
Cool. Leaving Earth by Jay Scarpacci.
J-A-Y, is that right?
Nope, J, just the letter J.
Oh,
J-W Scarpacci.
W Scarpaccio.
Look for Scarpacci. Scarpacci.
There it is. This is easy. They gave us links. She gave us links and everything.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said she, because I didn't know. I just see J-W.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's why I know, is because I, like a bozo, made the assumption, because ladies can't be authors.
No, how can they be? They don't write books.
I don't know why, when we were first talking about her, I think I said he, and she sent me an email and said, wow, way to assume.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that just the name Jay, I just associate with men. I just do.
I don't know exactly. I don't know why I made that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say right now, I apologize to anybody I've done that to, and anybody I will do that to in the future. I will be more conscious about that.
If I didn't know there was a J.K. Rowling,
right,
I wouldn't know she was male or female.
But there's also a J.K. Simmons.
Oh, hey,
right? I mean,
that's right.
And J.C. Calhoun in the chat room, and
JCW's is a place I get burgers.
Well, there's a, yeah. All right, I'm back.
Probably doesn't count. Oh, I'm gonna get one today now that I've said it. Brian,
no, I'm doing it tomorrow. My Cuban sandwich that I've been still hankering for, I'm waiting until tomorrow after my weigh-in.
Oh, I thought you went on Monday for some reason. I don't know why I thought that.
I was going to, and then I had so much stuff to prepare for the Top Podcaster Finals.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, people are thinking, oh, Jury totally spoiled it. Jury totally gave away who was in the finals. He didn't.
No, he totally didn't.
Listen to the episode that's going up today. You'll understand how he didn't.
Oh, totally didn't. In fact, I love that he didn't in the way he didn't. Like, it's actually
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
People who were worried about that, or yesterday, people, thanks for the spoiler, Jury.
Nope.
You didn't get spoiled. In fact, if you weren't hyped by what he said, then you're not paying attention.
Right.
Anyway, yes. So what was my thing? Oh, we're gonna give this away. So we're gonna give away a code. This is the Kindle version or the Mobi version of the book, so you can read this on a Kindle, on the Kindle app on your phone or tablet, wherever those files can be read. You've got it. But it is a digital version, an ebook version of the book, and again, the book is called. Where is it? My brain.
Oh, I'm sorry, I had it pulled up. I will
Leaving Earth.
Again, it's called Leaving Earth.
Right.
Yes.
J.W. Scarpacci. Oh, I love the Scarpacci. A cold served Scarpacci. Oh man.
It's funny because we are going to Olive Garden tonight for Tina's mom's birthday, for the mother-in-law birthday. And it's funny because normally we go to Texas Roadhouse, and they're worried about, oh, well, she's, we need to kind of cut down on fats and stuff. And so where do they go? Olive Garden. It's
wow.
All right, now that my body's kind of like, all right, with Weight Watchers, I can kind of do Texas Roadhouse pretty easily. Mm-hmm. But Olive Garden, it's like, okay, here are my choices. Grilled salmon on a plank of wood,
mm-hmm.
Or a piece of chicken wrapped in a paper sack.
Yeah, you can't have the pasta. You can't have the bread.
No. When I'm here, I'm starving. This is the problem.
Yeah. When you're here, you're fat. That's what they're
right. Exactly.
All right. Yeah, Texas Roadhouse. You just go, meat and get some protein, and you're good. All right. I'm gonna roll it now. Here we go, chat room. I'm rolling it. And our winner, and there's no benefits to being a subscriber or regular or anything. This is just random picks. Okay, I'm not giving any weighted results here. Our winner is Zeros-X7. Zeros-X7, you won the giveaway. Well done. And all you got to do is just say something. Oh, he did. Yep. He or she did. I don't want to say, oh, it looks like it's a dude because of the avatar. I'm going to send you the link right now. You click that Amazon link I'm sending you. It'll take you there and redeem your book for free. And a big thanks again to Jay for...
Yay.
Or Jay, I guess it's not just Jay. You have to say JW. So JW, thank you for the thing. We'll give away more of those as we go along. Don't let me forget that I gave away the first one.
Okay.
Because I don't want to give it away.
Oh, you need a way to mark. You need a way to mark those. Why don't you copy and paste them into our game codes?
Look, if you have any better ideas, I'm gonna have to. The show's gonna have to end. Just kidding. You're totally right. Here we go. I'm putting that in now. See those? Do you see those? Those are the 4 remaining in our game codes. So now you see them. I've eliminated the one. We're good to go.
Very good.
All right. Time for. What are we doing? Oh, yeah.
The news.
The news. Let's do it.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive, sensational summary of world and local events.
It's the news brought to you by...
For the last year, Cosmic Crit has been taking you on a sci-fi adventure through the worlds of the Starfinder RPG. And they're back with Season 2! Whoa. Brand new characters, brand new enemies, a brand new journey starting from level 1. You can find out more and check out our first season at CosmicCrit.com. That's 3 C's, Cosmic, 4 C's, CosmicCrit.com on iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere podcasts are downloaded.
Fantastic.
Really use all 4 C's, CosmicCrit.com.
Always use the 4 C's.
The 4 C's. There are 4 C's.
Don't stay at the Four Seasons. You ever stayed at a Four Seasons? I have bad experience there.
I've stayed at a hotel that was once a Four Seasons.
That sounds worse.
I think the Delano in Vegas, the Mandalay Bay sister hotel that's next to it, was a Four Seasons, and now it's a Delano, or now it's the Delano.
Does anyone in the chat? I'm going to say a vague thing. Does anyone in the chat know of a medium-sized cool room? Someone in Vegas has available that we could use.
That's so vague.
That's so very vague. Boy, I'll tell you what. I'll just say. Go ahead.
Like we could just say like a contract fell through on something, and we are working on something alternatively cool, but
for Friday or Saturday. The overpants thing's locked. We're good on that. No change there. Yes. But we had a bit of a contract kerfuffle, and the thing about it is, well, one day we're going to be able to talk about this whole.
You know we're going to talk about it? We're going to talk about it during TMS Vegas.
Okay, good.
It's going to be our...
Yeah. We might be under repaired. You'll get that joke when we get there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, sorry.
If anyone lives there and has any quote, Missoula's got to have some contacts.
Yeah, Missoula, the same-sex married folks are working on this. They've got some great ideas, and God, I almost want to tell you one of them that...
Well, don't tell me yet. Oh, Brian and I are going to meet after the show. We're we're having a big meeting today, and today's a big day. So just stay tuned, everybody. We got big stuff to talk about. But let's just say, making plans and doing events is hard. Everybody,
right?
It's
exactly.
Hard. Right. Taco Bell in the news.
Taco Bell.
Run for the border. They don't do that anymore, do they?
What is their thing now? It's
diarrhea.
No rules, just right.
Yeah.
No, it's
that's not it.
When you're here, you're shitting.
Yeah.
No, that's not it either.
Oh, I know what it is. It's Taco Bell.
The diarrhea specialist.
There it is.
Oh, Live Moss. That's right. Yes.
Oh, Live Moss. Is that really what they're doing?
Live Moss. Yes.
Okay, I don't like it. Because that means live big. Is that what it means?
Live more. Live more.
Live more.
But it kind of seems like they just didn't know, much like their food, they didn't know the Spanish word for live. It's like Ricky Iglesias, Ricky Martin with "Livin' La Vida Loco." Oh, you don't know the Spanish word for living?
Yeah. Why didn't he know that? Whatever. Well, here's the deal.
The bowels of El Diablo.
That's what they should be. It should be Taco Bell, yes. The bowels of El Diablo.
The bowels of El Diablo.
Perfect. Anyway, this is what happened. A manager got really angry and now has to go to anger management class. I would have just fired him for this, but whatever. He was caught on camera, security camera at the Taco Bell, choking a pregnant employee for asking for too many breaks. He says she was like, "Oh, I need a break. And he's like, "That's enough of that." And he choked her. Yeah. Why is he not fired?
Yeah, no kidding. How, well, we're just going to send you to anger management. You're one of our top guys. You really know how to bring out the best in your people, so we don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
So we're just going to send you to anger management.
Yeah. You really pump out the soft tacos.
You'd be totally within your rights to choke an employee. But the fact that she was pregnant, well, that's over the line.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. This is in Portland, by the way, you bunch of hipsters. What's going on over there? A Portland, Oregon Taco Bell manager has been sentenced to anger management and community service after, it's a she, sorry. I'm doing this all day now with the genders. After she pleaded guilty last Friday to charges of 4th-degree assault and strangulation. Jeez.
Wow.
Linda Joyce.
Why, you little?
Linda Joyce Wilkerson is her name. Don't go up to the Wilkerson place if I were you. She's 48, was allegedly angry with her employee needing to take frequent breaks. Wilkerson was the direct supervisor of the employee who was 4 months pregnant. I hate to tell her this, but pregnant people need more breaks. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Investigators told the outlet that the case began on June 3rd of 2018, so this has been a while, but they're just sort of wrapping it up. On the video, you see her wrapping her hands around the woman's throat. Based on the surveillance video, she can be seeing Wilkinson can be seen screaming at the victim, slamming the door in her face twice, and then grabbing her neck with both hands. To me, this is a big deal, says the victim in court. I was pregnant with my now healthy son. That was my job. I was supposed to feel safe there. I wasn't sure if she was going to let go of my throat. It was a big deal. I do believe she deserves this sentence.
I do believe she deserves so much more.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. I mean, those are, I guess those are still criminal things, but the fact that Taco Bell hasn't fired her, or maybe they have and she's just going to anger management, court-ordered anger management.
That should be in here. Like she's 3 years formal probation, 100 hours community service. which, working at Taco Bell is like community service.
Yeah.
She's also been ordered to take anger management classes. It's like they should have in there, she has been let go from Taco Bell and has to maybe can they not control her anger management attendance if they're not her boss? So basically it's going to be, yep, you're going to go to 100 hours community service. You're going to get 3 years of anger management or 3 years of formal probation, anger management classes. And then once you get back, then you're fired.
Yeah. Like wait for the whole thing to happen and you're out of here.
Right.
$250 in restitution is all the money she had to pay. I don't think that's enough. She's also to have no contact with the victims of some sort of restraining order.
Yes.
Yeah. Taco Bell, rough place for
pregnant
ladies.
Stuff. Yes.
Yeah. Watch out.
Come on. I worked at Taco Bell for a year almost to the day back in 86 to 87. And I can understand I didn't cut the lettuce right because we got the lettuce shredder and I had to kind of chop it up to put it in the shredder. And if I didn't do that right, sure, I could understand getting choked, but I'm not pregnant.
No. Well, that we knew of. So wait a minute. When you'd say you'd cut the lettuce wrong, was that a thing that was easy to do?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. We get heads of lettuce and we just had to put in the shredder. It was actually during my time there that we went from having the heads of lettuce that we had to cut in half and put in the shredder to actually getting bags of lettuce.
Shredded lettuce
that were amazingly they were like bales of hay. I mean, they were perfectly
like square, like
rectangular.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I guess you fill a bag with shredded lettuce and you can kind of shape it into anything that it makes it easier to transport.
Oh, right. Store it and everything.
Yeah. We still have the sour cream in caulking guns and guacamole in caulking guns.
That's awesome. When we were when I worked at Chi-Chi's, which is Spanish for boobs, is my understanding.
Yeah.
We had big bags. That's how we did it. Lettuce and the cheese were in big bags. And you'd bring out when you'd run out into the big metal tin thing in the back in the kitchen, they'd bring out a bag and dump it in there and dump the cheese in the other one. And I used to think, when you get your food, you don't know that this stuff is in a bag. Like you just don't know that. And I don't know if you need to know that, but that's just the way food is now. That's it.
But at least it's, I don't know. I mean, it was still fresh-ish lettuce, right? I mean, it was out of our walk-in, not freezer, but walk-in refrigerator thing. And it was, I don't know. It was, like I said, I still have no problem eating a Taco Bell, even having worked there and seeing what they do. Because I did the meat. For a while, I was the 7 a.m. Saturday morning frying shells and stuff like that. I was there during the introduction of the fajita.
At
Taco Bell, which they don't do anymore, but they did fajitas for a while with like sliced steak and stuff like that. We jokingly called them fajitas. We didn't do that with customers.
Yeah.
Would you like an order of fajitas?
Yeah. I think we did that at Chi-Chi's, actually. Funny, And that's about the same age. I was about the same age when I was at Chi-Chi's as you were at Taco Bell.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Parallel lives that brought us to.
Well, I'm glad you didn't have a
diarrhea
thing while you were there. That's good.
Yes. No, I may have, but
excuse me. All right, well, moving on. How about this one?
Yep.
Do you know who Gabe Newell is? Are you familiar with Gabe Newell?
I am not, but I bet I know him if I look him up. Oh yeah, Valve guy. Yes.
Founder of Valve. Big wide-faced looking dude. Used to work at Microsoft, left Valve, made Half-Life, changed the world. That guy. Founder of Steam.
There's some great photoshops with Gabe Newell's face, but totally, yes.
Yes.
This guy, totally
he's almost got a Ibit bomb quality to his face. And
almost. Yes.
Almost. No, I don't want it. Look, it's a big gap between that and you, but it's there.
I would hope so, yes.
There's a hint of it. Anyway, somebody's using Gabe Newell's face without his permission to sell underwear in China.
Oh.
So that's pretty good.
I could see how this guy's face could sell underwear, but for everybody else, for the benefit of everybody else, Scott, tell us more.
All right. It's not just discount video games.
To me, it totally makes sense, yeah.
Gabe Newell's image has shown up in plenty of unlikely places over the years until now. The favorite version of this writer of this article says Papal Gabe, a meme where they dressed the Valve CEO up as the Pope, glowing with holy light, was his favorite. Today, however, Papal Gabe has given into a much improved Newell's likeness. Earlier today, an image appeared on the PC Master Races subreddit I don't even want to go over there and see what that conversation's like.
PC Master Race, yeah, that's.
I'm a big PC gamer proponent. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like it when my fellow compatriots call each other the PC Master Race. It annoys me. It just makes us feel that's just elitist and lame. Don't do it. Anyway, this depicted a pack of men's underwear in which appears to be a Chinese department store. By itself, that might not be notable, but the model that underwear manufacturer has chosen is none other than Gabe Newell himself. Probably not his body.
Great. So he's like a oh, this is great. All right.
It's probably not his body though. Like, I can't imagine.
Yeah, that is so Photoshop. That is
yeah, I gotta find
fantastic Photoshop work.
Where's the oh, there it is. Okay. I gotta click it and show the chat because this is pretty great. This happens a lot. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
And what's funny is it's like it's a photo that doesn't even show the underwear.
No, it does not. Oh my gosh, Microsoft Edge, can you bite me? Thank you. All right, here you go. Chat room, let's have a look-see, shall we? There he is, showing off his sweet physique. Why Gabe?
I know.
Of all people.
Yeah, I guess I don't want my face on that body. You better put somebody else's face on there. By the way, Win the Fox says that PC Master Race is actually a fairly positive and supportive subreddit. The mods there have worked pretty hard to stomp toxicity. So,
well, their name is less. Their name is provocative, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, the Master Race does give people the wrong idea, understandably.
That's all I mean. Like, they could be the best subreddit in the history of Reddit, for all I know, but that name's a little provocative.
Oh,
anyway,
it's a joking meme subreddit. Okay, all right.
That's fine. I like jokes. I like memes. Here's the thing, though. This happens a lot. Like, a lot of famous people, although Gabe Newell's a weird one, but a lot of famous people just have their stuff put on knockoff products over there all the time. You'll see Brad Pitt on the cover of something and he had nothing to do with. There was no official anything. Like, that's how those guys roll. In fact, when I was working with China, it was almost impossible not to have everything that they would do for us would be some sort of knockoff before they'd get it right. Like, you'd have to go after them and go there. That's why we went there. We had to go, like, make sure the stuff they were making at the factory, at the time was a bunch of cables and PC boards and some other stuff. And we had to make sure that they weren't either knocking off someone else's patented design or using, imagery or whatever that wasn't theirs. Like, it happened a lot. I don't know if it's so bad now, but certainly underwear seems to be affected. Time. Hey guys, look at this. It's time for us to give away another book.
What?
I know. This is great. It's our intro for that this time.
Oh.
Yeah. Terminator.
He won't stop. You may think he's done giving away stuff. You can try to stop him, but he'll keep coming.
Come with me if you want to live. All right, I'm rolling it. Here we go. Rolling for a free copy of the book After Earth. And it is now rolling.
Leaving Earth.
Leaving Earth.
This is not
sorry.
The adaptation of the Will Smith and Jaden Smith.
Good point. Kentucky Fried Computer. Kentucky Fried Computer. You're the winner. And I'm sending you a link right now because you won this book. Now, you at home are going, man, I wish I would have done that. Hey, all you have to do is come listen live sometimes.
Well, no, we'll figure out a way to give the other three away to tadpoolers who don't make it live.
That's a good point too. Let's do that.
Maybe one of the people who writes in for Therapy Thursday via Twitter today.
Yeah, we'll do one of those, and the other two we'll do as maybe an email for one of them. We'll do one of the Twitter people today. We'll do an email for one of them, and we'll hold one for PM tomorrow. There you go.
Perfect. There we go.
I like where all this is going. Congratulations, and well done. All right, that's enough of that.
I really do miss our bed music, but the little bits are kind of fun.
Yeah, interstitials. I mean, this is just an experiment. We get the bed music back if we can figure out another way. But so far, you've had less echo, haven't you?
I'll be honest. Tomorrow when we're doing PM, we'll bring the bed music. I'll live with the echo to have the bed music back. That's a sacrifice I'll make.
All right, but it is. I think the theory might be correct, don't you?
I think so too. Yeah. I mean, there's been a little bit, but it is really like when the two of us are talking over each other, and there's got to be some setting.
Yeah, because this works with everybody else, and we got to figure out what's different. There's got to be something. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But it should be good. A woman has called police after her husband.
Wisconsin woman.
They're always the ones you gotta watch out for. I have a doctor friend that lives in Wisconsin, and he fixes bones, and that's all I have to say about that. A woman called police after her husband brought home the wrong type of chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what 911 is for. A Wisconsin woman called police on Sunday after she got into an argument with her husband when he brought home the wrong type of chicken. Cops received a call after 7:30 p.m. from a woman age 40 who reported a verbal argument with her 37-year-old husband. Brown Deer police. I love the idea that the police were just brown deer. You know what I mean?
Brown Deer police.
Just standing up straight like a golden book, just walking in there.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. We were grazing up the road and heard a disturbance. Anyway, police later found the couple got into an argument because the husband had allegedly purchased the wrong piece of poultry. The man later agreed to stay with his father for the night. It's unclear what part of the chicken the woman needed, what dish was cooking, and what piece of meat the man brought. But,
wow, well, they're just not doing their job on finding out the things that we want to know.
Yeah, I'm no professional
journalist.
Want
to know what the wrong chicken is.
Yeah, your headline says the wrong type of chicken. All right, what type of chicken then? Did she want thighs? He brought breasts.
I can't cook this. This is a rubber chicken, you dope.
Okay, that would have been something, right? I could see why she'd be so mad, but I still don't know why he'd call police on that. It's a stupid idea. Chat room is. I'm wondering if they can even hear a difference. I wonder if that bed's so low they don't even know. I wonder.
No, they know.
Do they know? They can tell.
Yeah, because Jeannie has been the first person to vocally say, I hate that bed music. I'm so glad you're not doing it.
Oh, you got really all these years, Jeannie, and you've never liked it? It's never been a thing you've liked? Wow. I've been doing it since day one of 2011.
That, Jeannie. I'm gonna argue with you. I'm gonna take the opposite side on this one.
It's just a thing. You're either she hates it everywhere.
She hates it everywhere.
Yeah. See, some Rusty Nails bed music, so he probably doesn't hear it. Some do, some don't. Depends if you have headphones on, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Once in a while, it would annoy gutter as a tool. I don't know. Maybe it bugs people, and I just never bothered to ask. I don't know. I don't want to bug people if I'm bugging people. We'll do a poll.
Don't mean to bug ya.
Excuse me. All right. How about this one here? This one. A man with marshmallow helmets, or he's got a marshmallow helmet, does not appreciate KFC turning EDM into some kind of joke.
Okay. So there's lots to dissect just in this headline.
I agree.
Here are the things I want to learn from this article,
All right,
Scott.
you tell me first, and then we'll see if we get them. All right, go.
Is it a helmet made of marshmallows?
No.
Or is it just a helmet that has marshmallows glued onto it?
Oh, good question. We'll have to dig in.
And how is KFC turning electronic dance music into some kind of joke? All right, now.
All right, you ready? Let's answer those questions. Yeah. Branding is a big thing in the electronic music world. Since you need to find a way to differentiate your beats and drops from the next guy's beats and drops, it says.
Yeah.
It feels like an old person talking about
beats and drops. It totally does.
I don't like it.
Now I'm the article writer, and I'm here to say.
Yeah. Well, people in that business, I guess, are upset, specifically this guy's, because this weekend at the Ultra Music Festival in Miami, when a DJ in a big electronic Colonel Sanders mask took the stage and put on a brief KFC-themed set, complete with samples of audio from KFC ads and Big's herbs and spices drops, that sort of thing.
Wow. Okay. Now this, I'm already on board with this.
Yeah.
The DJ in a big electronic Colonel Sanders mask, like it's
yep.
Daft Chunk.
Daft Chunk.
Let's work on this a little bit.
That's pretty good.
There's something here.
Hold on. Dead Mouse would be. Well, depending on what KFC you go to, Dead Mouse stays Dead Mouse, but that depends on what neighborhood you're in.
There's something. Hold on.
Breaded mouse. Okay, got breaded mouse.
Breaded mouse.
You got who's another famous one?
Grillix.
Grillix, dude. We have a winner. Grillix is performing.
There we go.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I love it. Grillix is good. Well done, guys.
Winner, chicken DJ. There you go.
There you go. Pretty good. As reported by Billboard magazine, some members of the EDM community weren't too thrilled about the big commercial as they saw it. With Marshmello, the famous DJ with a big helmet that looks like a marshmallow, not a cartoon mouse or French robot, reportedly said the Colonel Sanders set was lame. Says the guy with a giant marshmallow on his head. Really?
Okay. So wait. So man with marshmallow helmet in the headline is the DJ Marshmello?
Yeah, his name's DJ Marshmello, and he has a marshmallow helmet.
Yeah, no, who I've heard of. It's just funny, like man with suit complains that there's no collusion. Like it feels like it's
yeah.
It feels like it's I don't know. They're overgeneralizing somebody that people might have heard of. Marshmello, sure.
They had a Twitter fight, by the way. These two, they've since been deleted.
And DJ Sanders.
Yeah, DJ Sanders. Finger scratching good. What else did you say? Original.
Oh yeah, some of the original recipes, some 11 herbs and spices.
Yeah, the big hits.
11 drops and beats.
There you go. What's the thing they make that's the big, huge, all together thing?
Double down.
The double down. What would you call that?
DJ Double Down.
DJ Double Down. That's pretty good.
There you go. Yeah.
I haven't heard of. I am an EDM fan, and I don't know that I knew about DJ Marshmello.
I've heard of him, and because I've seen that name, and I was wondering if he was like, Marshmallow Yellow or.
I do a lot of playlists of.
So he's like in a.
Yeah, I do a lot of playlists of random DJ guys. I'm often not like familiar with who the guy's name is, but. I like EDM. I'm a big fan of it. But you know what's not going to kill EDM? One guy getting up for a minute in a KFC thing. It's fine.
Right.
Calm the
he's
H
turning
down.
EDM into some kind of joke. Not like those two guys in the space helmets or the guy in the giant mouse helmet.
Yeah. They're not.
Or me with a giant marshmallow helmet.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's your big offender with his big dumb helmet.
He's the guy who did the Fortnite. Okay, there was like the concert that was in Fortnite, in the game Fortnite, and Marshmello was the guy who performed that. That's why I knew.
Oh, I remember hearing about that in-game concert, but I was so annoyed by the concept that I quit listening or reading about it.
Second Life did it first.
Yeah, Second Life had floating penises. Remember that?
I do remember that.
That was a big deal because it was like some big name interview they were doing or something, and they had like a set, and then somebody hacked it, and these floating penises just floating by during the interview. It's amazing.
I totally remember that. That was the thing that pretty much killed Second Life, right?
Yeah, it was my favorite trolling thing I'd ever heard of. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Poor Second Life. For a minute there, it was like, whoa, what are they doing? And then no one cares. I think it's still there. People still go in there.
Is there still Second Life still a thing that people can do?
You can have your virtual sex with strangers, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Is chat roulette still around?
Yeah. Let's look.
Is hot or not? No.
Chat roulette. I'll bet it is.
No, it's just two guys.
Oh,
They're
it
just
totally
basically
is.
using it as a chat.
Give access to your camera and microphone. I'm doing that now.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to allow. Okay, let's start. Oh, there's a premium.
Somebody in an office right now is going, oh my God, we got a hit. We got a hit.
Yeah. I'm going to hit start. Let's see who we get. This was rejected because no face was found. Well, let's start it again. Smile at the camera. Oh, it's not letting me because the camera. Hold on.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. Start.
Okay. All right.
I'm smiling at the camera.
Yeah.
Connecting to partner.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Who is this going to be? I'm not going to like this.
I'm going to guess a dude.
If it's a dude and there's wiener, I'm out. I'm out of here so fast. It's going to be painful. Yeah. It keeps jumping around. Are we going to get anybody?
This truly is roulette. Like it really,
Yeah. I mean, this was like the hot business for like 5 minutes.
Tina, I think I've told the story on this show how we were in the Crazy Neighbor's basement and we were talking about whatever, and the subject of chat roulette came up, and Dave had never heard of it. Crazy Neighbor Dave had never heard of it, and so we're like, oh, all right, well, and so I grabbed my laptop, opened it up, pulled up chat roulette, and Dave and I kind of sat on the sides, and we had Tina be the prominent person in the camera.
Yeah.
And up comes the first person comes up is two guys sitting there on the couch. And the first thing he goes, "Ooh, cougar."
No way.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were pretty much those.
That just spun forever like no one's using it. Maybe nobody's using it. Or maybe this time of day nobody's using it. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm not showing cams, so don't worry, chat room.
Oh, Incredible Sausage says the chat roulette is against Twitch terms of service, so be careful. Can't even show the site even if cams aren't up. Wow, okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not showing anything. Plus, nothing's happening. It just sat there.
Right, there's nothing to show.
Yeah, it's closed now. So there you go.
It's chat roulette is what it is right now.
Chat roulette. Ooh, William Shatner showing us his the captain's chair. That's fantastic.
Would you like to see my penis?
Ooh, Liam O'Brien just sent me a text. Let's see what's going on here. Of Critical Role fame. Oh.
He's got a timeshare in Vegas that's got a fairly roomy living room, is what he's going to say.
He says yes to the, I'd asked him if he ever wanted to do like a standalone interview we'd put on the TMS feed, just a fun little interview. And he said yes, so we'll get.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be good. I like Liam. All right, cool. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Wendy will be here. Therapy Thursday all queued up and ready to roll. So that'll be fun and exciting. Before that, though, we should probably play a song, and I'll bet you've got one.
I do, and this one ties in really well with something that a friend of the show and Coverville interview master specialist, I don't know a best way to describe this, but Tanner Goodman is interviewed this artist, electronic indie songwriter named Micropixie. She started out in the UK, then went to Paris, and now she lives in San Francisco. And apparently it's a really, really good interview that went every possible direction. You know, basically Tanner had to kind of keep things wrangled in with the interview because there were so many tangents and things going on. Anyway, she's got an amazing, amazing voice and this cool indie electronic sound. She does a great cover, by the way, of the Universal by Blur.
Yeah.
Which we'll get on the show at some point. But in the meantime, enjoy this original. This is called Superhero, and her brand new project, Dark Sight of the Moon, is out, I believe, tomorrow, if I remember correctly. So check it out. Here is Micropixie and the song Superhero.
Great name, by the way, Micropixie. Love that.
Micropixie, totally.
Yeah. If you have a Micropixie out though, take it back. Sony will get you a new Vita. All right, here you go. It's happening now. We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
Nothing tastes creamier than Kraft Real Mayonnaise.
Give in to the taste.
Better than a nuke in your backyard. This is the Morning Stream.
I agree with Fletcher. Better than a nuke in your backyard, always.
Whoa, for sure. Maybe not a straw torch, blueberry pop torch. No, what was it?
Strawberry pop torch. Wait.
Something like that.
Now I got to find it. Pop. I think it's in here. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop some tags.
No, that's not it.
No, that's not it. That's great too.
Pop torch. Here we go.
The Morning Stream. Better than a straw tart blueberry pop torch. Pop torch. It'll take me a couple to get that one. Hang on. Better than a straw tart. This is recording, right? Let me check. Better than a straw tart. Better than a straw tart blueberry pop torch.
It's still not right, is it? At the end there, that's still not right.
Best.
Oh,
what's that?
It's still not right what he did.
It's still not right. No, strawberry Pop-Tart blowtorch is the correct phrase.
Oh, there you go. That's the phrase.
Strawberry Pop-Tart blowtorch.
Pop-Torch. Pretty good name.
Pop-Torch.
All right. Wendy time. Wendy time.
Wendy time.
Yeah. Can't touch this. Hey, what's he doing? What's MC Hammer doing?
What's MC Hammer doing?
Yeah.
Did you just ask what's MC Hammer doing?
I did.
Because you know.
Yeah, you know he's got talent. Actually, I'm very curious. Where is he right now? He's touring. Great. That's fantastic. Hi. Is this Wendy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hi. Good morning. How are you?
Hi. Good.
Good. Fine. I am sick. I've got a stupid chest cold, but I'm getting over it. I hope. I don't feel bad otherwise. Like, I feel okay. I just have this awful voice and chest thing, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sick. Otherwise, I feel okay.
Well, normally when I get this kind of thing and I get all horsey like this, it comes with a million other symptoms, like it's more fluey and stuff. I just don't have that this time.
You're congested and stuff like that, but you're not.
Yeah, I really should stop licking my dog's tongue, putting tongues together. Yeah.
The doorknobs are not for licking, Scott.
I know. And people, it's not like you're the first person that's told me either. People keep saying, Scott.
They say the tongue is the second cleanest part of a dog. Do you know the first?
Ooh. I don't want to know, do I?
No, you don't want to know.
Yeah, it's probably their junk, is what I'm thinking. Anyway.
Well, because they clean it.
Right, exactly.
With their
constantly.
tongue.
Yeah. Constantly.
Here's our theme for Wendy this week.
That is a big load for anyone to carry.
Sure.
No pun intended.
There you go. From some time ago, big load to carry, no pun intended.
What a freak.
Hey, what's going on? It's almost spring. Are you guys melted down, or what's happening?
Yeah, we're melted down.
Yeah.
It's like 3 feet of snow went away in like a couple weeks, which is dangerous because it floods, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah. And there's been flooding in this country that no one ever talks about. I swear there was like horrendous flooding, and then it barely made the news. I can't remember where that was, somewhere, but I was a little shocked.
Nebraska, yeah.
Nebraska's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah. That stuff's bad.
Cray.
Yeah. It's weather, man. What are you going to do?
I know. Let's talk about it every week.
Yeah, let's talk about it every week.
Everybody talks about it. Nobody ever does anything about it.
Well, that's right. What are you going to do about it?
I do feel like I've brought up weather a lot lately. I should really stop doing that. I don't know why I do that. I should
You're
know
an old
better.
man.
Well, this is true. All right. Hey, Wendy, let's do this. Let's get to it. You're a therapist. You help people with real problems all the time. You come on the show on Thursdays and you dispense some of that help absolutely for free, everybody. She does it out of the goodness of her heart. And and sometimes you guys have, legitimate issues that need some looking at. So I'm going to take some questions from Twitter today. All right? That's how we're going to do it.
Okay,
These have been very popular. People like this. The hashtag is Ask Wendy. If you guys still want to get some in, you can. We keep track of these, so there you go. Here's one. Let's see.
Man, are they spelling it right? Ask Wendy with an I?
Yeah, with an I.
Your voice has progressively gotten worse over the course of the show.
Yeah, I feel it got so hoarse last night. I'm not surprised. It's just after I do about an hour and a half show, it's nearly gone. Hopefully it'll be okay through this. But one of my favorite people in the Valley, Robin, wrote in. She's a local here. She wrote in and says this: what's the best way to break up with an energy vampire friend? She lays on the "you're my best friend ever" stuff. You know what we're talking about? Somebody who's just so high maintenance, so tagged on you all the time that you just are like, ugh, I need a break from you.
Suck all your energy. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's hard because you don't want to hurt feelings. You don't want to burn bridges, but I don't know, common human thing. What you have any suggestions?
Yeah. Do you guys have any vampire friends?
Yes. Oh, yes. Brian's not I'm not sneakily saying it's Brian. He's not that at all.
No, I would hope not.
He's nothing like that. But I have people like that.
I've got people in my life who are like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you guys ever broken up with anybody? That's
not
a vampire.
Over that.
No, I did talk. I guess I've talked before about the fan who I can't remember his name, so I can keep him nameless very naturally here. Who years ago would show up at my house while we were taping the show in the morning in his car, and he would sit and listen, and then he would bring a bowl of or a pot of chili to the door. Mm-hmm. A lot of sort of fine things. If
overstepping, very nice. The heart's in the right place, but
it just was too much, and it was all the time. And then they wouldn't leave, and it was just like just assumed too much, and the barriers weren't there. And so I finally had to say, I think it was easier because, again, I didn't have some big long-term relationship with them. So it was easier for me to say, it's probably best you don't come and kind of hang around that way. It's a little bit weird, or I can't remember how I said it. Mm-hmm. And it probably made him mad, and I never heard from him again. And this was like back in 2011 or 12, maybe.
Right. Who's that Jesus-looking dude who came to like the first couple Nerdtaculars?
I heard from him recently.
Did you? Yeah. And let me tell you what. So the first time I ever appeared on ELR, He looked up my phone number and called while I was on ELR.
Yeah.
Called my house while I was on ELR.
Now that's an interesting story because I heard back from him recently. He's graduated college. Back then he was like high school.
Yeah.
Aimless. Looked like Jesus without the mustache.
Dude had an amazing beard for being in high school.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
He really did. He was a hairy dude.
Yeah.
But he wrote back, and here's what his words were roughly. I don't have it in front of me, but he said, I just want to thank you and Brian and everyone else at Frog Pants for putting up with this crazy Asperger's syndrome kid that I was. I hadn't been diagnosed. My parents didn't care. I didn't know that I was how I was, or that I was so in everyone's face all the time, and that I was so presumptuous. And I've learned a lot since then, and I just wanted you to know I'm sorry about that. And I wrote back and I said, do not be sorry at all. You were a funny kid. But he had none of those barriers, right? He just and he admits that now, or he knows that now, he understands it now. So those are maybe different though. Energy suckers can come in the form of just people who become reliant on you. I mean, Kim has this problem. She has a lot of people that I think are energy suckers on her because she's too nice and like brings them meals and, you know, bails them out of problems and solves a lot of issues, both extended family, I would say, and also friends. So she's terrible at this breakup thing. So whatever this advice you're going to give, I'm going to pass on to her, by the way.
I guess. Well, I think first of all, that's a very cute story. And I think it actually is very relevant. Most people who are socially sort of off don't always know it. Okay, so you got a mix. You got those who know it, but they don't know what to do about it. They know it's not what they're doing is not working, and or they know, like, I feel desperate and I'm so lonely and I'm trying to connect with this person and I'm scaring them. Like, they know on some level, but on the other hand, they're like, I also can't not care. Yeah, or I can't not try to have friends because I'm so lonely, right? So they're sort of torn with awareness, and then the other group maybe has the lack of awareness. Like in this kid's case, you know, he's a teenager, his parents don't care, and has Asperger's, and he's not reading the room correctly, and he doesn't know it, but he's now figured that out, and that's like developmentally normal in a process. And
it's probably a really good thing, right? Like I was very complimentary to him because that just felt like a big stage thing for him, like a big deal in his life.
Yeah, totally. And like growing up, I mean, how many of you want your like 13, 14-year-old self to be how people remember you?
The representation of your,
because it's not you. And yet then there's people well into later years who act in ways that are sort of frustrating as a friend. So let's start with this, Robin in the Valley. You got to ask yourself about the friendship, because there's a really handy way to handle this if you can adjust your definitions a little bit. So are you actually friends? Like, and when we say friends, let's define that a little bit. Like, it's mutually beneficial. You both enjoy each other's company. If you're in need, you would call them. If they're in need,
you pick him or her up from the airport?
Pick them up from the airport at 2 a.m.
Right.
And you know that if you need to crash on the couch, it's fine. You can get into each other's refrigerators without having to ask too much. You know, we call it refrigerator rights. Do you have refrigerator rights? So are you actually friends? So ask that question first about this person. And if the answer is yes, and at one point it was really great, then you can sort of figure out what went wrong. Then you have a foundation to work with. And then sitting down with that person and saying, hey, we got to do something different. This isn't working. I care about you. You care about me. We are friends. Like, what's going on? And figuring it out and saying, like, you know, because I'm guaranteeing if they are vampiring you, you're not alone. There's other people in their life that are maybe getting the same thing. And there's a core reason. And if they're really your friend, then figure that out with them. Like, what is the deal? Yeah. Maybe they're just feeling really insecure about now, or, you know, whatever. So that's one particular type of thing. I think that happens a lot less than when we typically think of a vampire friendship. Is usually when you ask that question, are you friends? The answer might be, well, I mean, I've invited, you know, you felt bad for them, or you invited them to something and they just kind of glommed onto you, but you don't have it's not mutually beneficial. Maybe it's never been. So you're calling something a friendship, because you're behaving like a friend who's putting up with like a thing that's not giving you anything back. It's a service project, right? Or you're just being nice, but it's not an actual friendship. And the problem is when you sort of think of it as a friendship and I owe this person this thing, or I don't want her to feel bad, so I'm really careful. You perpetuate the vampire friendship situation. So if this is the category we're in, then you got to redefine what is actually happening. Is this person actually your friend?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, then you get to decide what you're doing with it. This isn't breaking up with a friend. This is deciding how much energy you want to put into this person and this situation. So it may be, I want to have a sit down with them like, hey, this isn't working for me. I want to ghost you. I don't want you to feel bad, but I have certain needs as a person. And so if we want to be friends, I need to be more in the equation. And that is hard to do. Most people prefer ghosting. And then, you have that choice. The other choice is to see the relationship as what it is. This is a lonely person who needs some attention and, sort of goodness in my heart, I'm going to do that here or there, but I'm going to have boundaries so it doesn't suck all my energy.
Right.
And so it really is the sort of a core definition that makes you feel powerless or feel like you have a little more control over the situation. And it's an honest look at it, And sometimes you'll have a friend, like I've had a friendship long time, and we had a great relationship. And then she started having kids and she turned into the weirdest person ever. Like I still love her because we have our history.
Yeah.
But our friendship is never going to go back to what it was because she really is a different person. And I don't think she sees me the same as well. And so, but there's no vampiring going on. There's just more like, it's kind of a dead relationship. And so you can have it as a memory. And if you can, but if I want to think about it as this friendship that was lost and I'm going to create a lot of pain for me or, force myself to spend a lot of time with her when she doesn't necessarily want to be with me and I don't necessarily want to be with her. Like, can we just, let it die? And I think that's sometimes what's happening. And when someone gets needier, they may be sensing that a relationship is dying. They may be sensing that you're busy or moving on or you spend too much time with other people and that their own personal life isn't, they don't have other friends. And so they get needier. So it's
FOMO.
Kind of depends on the scenario.
Oh, FOMO. I hate FOMO so much. FOMO, it's the worst. Fear of missing out. I want to burn it because I don't have it at all. Like I have zero FOMO. If somebody's like, dude, this thing, and everyone goes, ooh, the thing. And I just go, knock yourselves out, dude. I got other stuff to do. I really don't like FOMO. I hate it.
Yeah.
And
if you are young, like if you're under 35 listening to Scott, like, oh, what? That'd be so great. It comes naturally at around 40.
I agree. Yeah, it did. But I also, I feel like I didn't even have it as much when I was growing up. It almost stresses me out that too many people want to do a thing. It makes me wary of the thing they all want to do. Like if they're super hyped about one thing, like saying high school or something, and everybody's just like, yes, this, and this. Even if it was like, I don't know, a band, I would tend to go, I like other bands. And I don't know if that was just me being contrary or if that was me being, I don't know what that is, but that was kind of like then. And then now I just can't be bothered with some hot new thing. I mean, I know what I like and I know what I might be interested in, but it's never me going, oh, I better get involved before I miss out. Like, I hate that, that whole notion. And I'm not saying that everybody can't feel that legitimately. I'm sure it's fine. But people with FOMO and the vampirism you're talking about, you're in trouble, man.
Bad combination. Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. And I don't know.
Well, and one way to think real quick about anyone who's vampire-like in this regard is you can muster some compassion for the feelings that would drive it, right? The fear of being alone or fear of missing out maybe, but also just sort of insecurity. Like I'm not stable or okay. And I don't like being alone. I don't like my own thoughts. Nobody likes me. And so they try too hard or, it's a combination of things that, are hard, and not everyone is securely, settled in friendships and family life and feel like they've got it all going on. And so, it's tricky. And I think as some people start to move on in different directions, this happens more naturally to an old friendship maybe. I mean, is Robin still on there? I'd like to know who the person, not who the person is, what their address is, but like, is this can she answer the friendship question?
She totally can. I mean, whether it'll happen right now, I don't know, but she's a regular listener and would totally follow up with that. Here's a question for you. Why? Yeah. This is somewhat related. You mentioned self-esteem or self-consciousness or something. I forgot what you said. But why is it? It doesn't matter what stage of life I'm in. It could be when I was a little kid. It could be when I was a teen. It could be when I was in my 20s. It could be 10 years ago. It could be now. Whenever I look in a mirror, I can't be done quick enough. Like,
I can't be done looking at yourself like, oh, I don't want to look at this guy.
I really don't. Like, I'll get into a mirror and I'll go, and it's ranged from in severity from when I was a kid. Well, speaking of last week in the story about the soldering iron fake out I did on Wendy. I think Mark had left his marks on me, but with other things, like I had a lot of self-esteem stuff. I think maybe Mark helped perpetuate, but
for sure,
because he teased me like crazy and all that. But I was so skinny when I was a kid, which I of course would trade in a heartbeat right now. But I was so skinny that I thought I was just broken skinny. Well, the truth is, I look at Nick, who girls swarm around and all think he's good looking. He's just the same build I was, and it's not. But even he has a little bit of this in the mirror. So I guess this is everybody. I'm not trying to say this is unique to me, but I just know that it doesn't matter when. Even when I was at 220 and feeling awesome, and it was like perfect weight, 2015, 2016 in that area. Even then, I just look in the mirror and go, ugh, that guy, and just keep moving with my day. I still do it. Is that normal? To always just not like your own visage so much that you just can barely, it's like, ugh, all right. Oh, if someone will say, hey, we got pictures. Want to see how we all look? Hell no, I don't.
To some degree, it's anti-narcissism, but I guess it's if you're physically repulsed by.
Well, not like oh, I'm gonna be sick. I had to look at it again. It's not like that. It's just
no, but it sounds like you do get angry at like
yeah, it's like there's that guy again. Gosh dang it, or
looking at me again.
And it's always something. It's always something not right, even though. 10 years later, I'll look at an old picture of a time where I thought everything wasn't right, and it was all right. Mm-hmm. Everything was fine. I get away from the situation. I go, I was a good-looking dude when I was 25. What was I worried about then? I don't know why I do that. It's always been that way.
Well, it's very funny, and I laughed initially because I have the same thing, but I have a different take on it.
What's your take?
I just have no, there's no point. Okay, I don't have a booger. Good. I don't have, and the reason I've noticed it sort of lately is that as you age, you start to melt. Does everyone know this? You melt. It's the worst thing. Your face doesn't look the same anymore.
Yeah.
You just melt.
Especially women, you get
sagging.
Sagging is a better word, but I feel like it's melting.
I'm melting.
You get a little osteoporosis kicking in. You get a little hunching going on. Oh, okay, not that.
Oh my gosh, my brain is so damaged. What is the movie where his face melts with Harrison Ford?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh my gosh, that was it. Couldn't think of it. Yeah, my face melts like that.
Scott, we're gonna have to get a new therapist.
Yeah, we need new. Sorry, this is the last straw.
This is the wrong show for that kind of mistake.
Yeah, geez Louise. No, it's totally fine. But no, we are all melting. But
yeah, we are all melting.
I'm going to look back in 10 years. I'm going to be 10 years ahead and look back and be the same thing. I'm going to go, what are you complaining about?
What was I worried about? Yeah.
Got to enjoy it now. So I've had a solution for this my whole life, as I just don't own mirrors. I have a normal mirror in a bathroom and do whatever, but people have those close-up mirrors. Are you kidding? Don't ever do that. Or the full-length ones. It's fine. Wear different shoes. Never check.
Yeah, I replaced all the mirrors in our house with Funhouse mirrors. So look up
but make you look fantastic.
Exactly. Yes.
That is a great idea. I think there's something to be said for, maybe it's genetic. We don't like to look in the mirror, but I don't have the negative thinking until now that I'm melting. There's a little bit of why are you looking in the mirror? That's such a bad idea. Don't. And then I don't. But I think there is something to be said for sort of how you feel. At least my experience is I feel a certain way, and then the mirror doesn't always reflect that. So you're like, oh crap, I look tired. But I'm not. Yeah. Ooh,
nice.
But I'm not tired. So we have a couple psychological things maybe happening as on the spectrum here that is not I don't know, maybe we'll explain yours, but so you've got like body dysmorphia, right? So that is no matter what you look like, your brain will see the thing that grotesques you, right? Okay.
That's just that's built in. Like there's nothing people can do about that. You just see what you want to see.
Well, it's not that you want to. It's that it's sort of, it's often connected to eating disorders, and it's a little chicken and the egg. I'm sure there's research I'm missing on that. But this sort of, I feel fat and I look fat. And so sort of everything points to looking and feeling like your brain will believe that that's what it's seeing. And so it will truly see that.
Yeah.
So and that's on the extreme end of things, of course, And then I think on the other side is I have the other kind, which is I think I look better than I do. And that's why I don't like the mirror, because it's like, what are you trying to tell me that I don't look fine? And it's because I feel fine and I feel okay. I feel fine in my clothes or, whatever. And then the mirror's like a liar, so I don't want to look at it, right? Anyway, and then everywhere in between of, feeling good today, not feeling so great, and it kind of depends. I mean, people spending a ton of time looking in the mirror.
Oh, there we go.
Wendy, you there? I changed it to.
I want to make sure that that you're hearing that too.
Yeah, I think she had a poopy poop. Hold on, let's see. That's weird. She's still in there. Wendy, you there? Well, that's very weird. Well, that's not how I planned it. Hold on.
No.
I'm gonna save here and do this. Fix this. Shoot, we were really on a roll there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me add her again to the call. Maybe that will fix it. There we go. I don't know what happened there.
Hey, sorry.
No, it's not you. We don't know. I don't know what happened. Something got weird. Oh. But you're back. That's the important thing.
Something got weird.
Something got weird. Anyway, you were on a roll there, and then you got.
I was.
Pooped.
That's when everything always turns off. Is when I get on a roll. So it's a sign from the universe to shut up.
I guess so. Maybe. I will look for maybe there's a follow up now from her. Let's just see if there is. If there's not, then we'll move on. Okay. Why isn't this working? This is great. Today is very technical problem day. Oh, here it is. Nope, she hasn't, but that's okay. I'll follow up with her a little bit later. How about this one?
Okay.
This is from Pickute, who says, any tips for dealing with a 5-year-old daughter's anxiety? It can be pretty bad some days. Thanks. Can I just say one quick thing about daughter's anxieties?
Yeah.
My oldest, Taylor, who's one of the most motivated, independent, strong-willed people I know, got all that from Kim, but she got a big old scoop of me with it. And that scoop of me meant, lots of weird anxieties. She was growing up. In particular, it started to really show itself at a very young age. At like age 3, she would have night terrors. And they were scary. You'd go into her room, she'd be just screaming at something, eyes wide open, sitting in bed. You go in there to see, and sweetie, what's the matter? What's the matter? And she couldn't even see me. She was looking through me at something. And it just would take forever to calm her down. She just was always just had a big chunk of anxiety with her, which is, I'm really proud of her because she's never let it stop her. And I guess in a lot of ways me either, but it's still a very tangible thing. And her and I talk about it all the time. We have a lot of discussions about, why she sometimes just has a general feeling of anxiety, like something's wrong, even though everything might be right. Leading up to the baby, there were a couple of moments there where she was really struggling. And so, we did all we could do to help. So I guess what I'm saying is I totally feel for whoever this is and know what it means to have a 5-year-old with a lot of anxiety. But Wendy, I know you know what it's like too, because, your kids are basically my genetic code, or a couple of them are.
Yeah, thanks again for that.
You're welcome. So what do you want to, what's some tips here for this one?
Okay, so there is a book. So I have one of my children in particular, this has been really effective for him. And it's the Anxiety Workbook for Kids. You can get it on Amazon for $15, I think, by Robin Alter, PhD, and Crystal Clark.
Sound like real names.
And
sure.
You can find that there. And it is a workbook you do with your kid. And it's awesome. So I did it with Elliot, and he got about a third of the way through, and his anxiety dropped in half.
Wow.
And what it does is it helps you use the words to articulate what's going on, and it explains to the kid, like, literally it's like a superpower gone awry a little bit, and it's your great imagination, and it's, you know, all these cool things and what to do about it. It is incredibly practical. Kids love to do it. Like, I mean, I watched his anxiety go down just opening the book, because it was giving him language and permission, and it's all okay. And you're doing it with your mom, so, or your dad, right? So they know the words too, and you can start to use it together. And so it, like, this does not need to be a lifelong of therapy and drugs. If you start young enough and give them language and give them permission and tools to handle it, because it's simply the part, we all have it, but there's just some of us that feel it longer for, you know, like I can go through my life and just not, it just doesn't come to me. I don't have it.
Yeah.
So when I feel anxious, it's because, and it's rare, it has to do with something happening in my life. And so I can make the connection, like, oh, I'm anxious because of that thing. And by the way, it's a horrible feeling, right? Like, I hate it. And and to think, oh my gosh, someone is feeling this all the time and they don't know why is amazing that anyone survives that. But it's related to this, it's related to not knowing what it is, what to do about it, thinking it's you. And so this book gives you a really good foundation for a kid to have the right words for it, the right language. And, you know, if it's a 5-year-old, so it's perfect timing. You know, maybe if you have a kid who is a little more ingrained in some of that thinking, get yourself a nice play therapist would be smart to tackle some of what's happening with the anxiety. There was one other thing. Oh, this was amazing. So we were doing the workbook. It was going really well. And then Elliot has this tendency, and this may sound familiar to those of you who've had kids with who are anxious, is we will go to do the most amazing, funnest thing. The whole entire day was fantastic. He's 1,000 times saying he's so happy and he's so lucky and, you know, happy, happy, happy. And then as we're leaving, he like trips on his shoelace and, you know, biffs it. And then it is the worst day that's ever happened.
Yeah.
So we've done this thing and it's been really effective to the point where we don't actually ever have to do it. We just have the code. So my kids are obsessed with picking up rocks. So we have rocks from everywhere we've ever been.
My kids did that too.
Tristan did that for a while too.
So many rocks. Anyway, so what we do is we'd have him wherever we go, and his mood shifts and everything suddenly is terrible, is we have him literally physically, we had him go pick up 2 rocks. And he would have 2 rocks and we would label each rock. One rock is like you just spent your whole day at Legoland and it was amazing and you were happy. And the other rock is that you tripped over your shoe. And then he would choose which rock he was going to take home, because he could only fit 1 rock in his pocket. So you got to pick. And he would always pick the fun rock, of course. And he would leave the other rock, and then we would talk about the rock, like choosing, instead of choosing the negative thought over the positive thought, like without a choice, he actually had to make a choice. So now we always, whenever this sort of turns, we always say, okay, so which rock do you want to take home? And he can switch it. So we've given him a skill that has a very concrete child-based, you know, thing. And so he'll probably always think that when he sees rocks.
Oh yeah, well, even when he's older, he'll think of it. And there'll be a day where he'll want to choose Dwayne the Rock Johnson, because he'll have
that's a fun rock too.
Yeah, and he'll have a goofy sense of humor to try to help with this sort of stuff, which is my way of doing
exactly.
things. Yeah,
exactly. But that book, I highly, highly recommend it, because we've done it ourselves. I've had a lot of clients do it with their kids, and a lot of success with
the Anxiety Workbook for Kids. It's on Amazon. I'm looking at it now.
Take charge of fears and worries using the gift of imagination. That's the subtitle.
$15 if you're looking for the hard or the book version. The Kindle version's only $10.
I would recommend paper, because you write in it. The kid writes. There's drawing. It's. I would say I don't know how the Kindle would even be effective.
Probably not. I mean, you can annotate and do stuff, but I doubt that's anywhere near what you're saying. Because if you're going to do notes and workbooky stuff.
Yeah, and the kid really owns like the physical book. Like there's an ownership thingy that happens. That's great. And there's the equivalent. So this sort of series, they all look the same. There's one for depression. There's one for OCD. And anger. They're all great. Really well done.
All right. Well, there you have it. Good stuff today. I did get a follow-up from Robin. She says, been friends with that person for about 15 years. As her life has changed, it's gotten harder. So it sounds a lot like a common thing. I had a person in my life who I would have considered my best friend as an adult. Like adult best friends are kind of hard to come by. Yeah. Someone you spend a lot of time with, you go see movies with, you're constantly on the phone with each other, like that kind of friendship. In my 20s and early 30s. And when we met them when we already had Taylor, we had a baby or a kid, and it was great and everything was great. They started to have kids and it all changed. And I still to this day don't know why it changed. Yeah. It just
their
got
attitude,
weird.
Their personalities, whatever.
They just got different, or maybe we did. I'm willing to say it's possible it was us, but I don't feel like it was us.
Wow.
It just got weird and funky.
Kids,
and I don't know.
Kids change people. It makes you, because it like sucks your soul, and then what's left is who you are. And so, like you change, and the way people parent, it's so different sometimes that it's hard to compatibility's off. And I had one friend, and we've been friends forever, and she has just gotten super politically weird.
Oh yeah.
And I can handle being opposite of me. Like it's not that.
That's not a problem. Yeah.
There's like a level that it's like, I don't know how.
I don't want to
how to do it.
People get militant about that stuff, and that there's nothing in this world that will make your friendship strain more than that stuff. Especially if it's it's one thing if it's somebody you argue with.
If you can't laugh, like if you want to smear essential oils on your kid's, broken arm, it's fine if you're willing to let me laugh at you. But and you can laugh at me for giving my kid a brace. But like there has to be some kind of mutual understanding. And it sounds like maybe for Robin, this friend, as things have changed and gotten harder, what happens is a relationship has to morph with that stuff. And I mean, I'm saying laughing is one of the techniques, but like you have to continue to have shared experiences to keep that bond. If the only bond is obligation, then it morphs from being a friendship to something else, and then it's more of a burden. And so how to reconnect to being a friend might be one of the two of you go somewhere for a couple days, hang out, go on a regular lunch together, ask her to not talk about herself for 20 minutes and talk about a third thing, try to put some real effort into it. And when you find that it really just is too much, then you draw a boundary. But sometimes all that's needed is like a reconnecting kind of event. And usually it's fun involved. We're not friends with people that aren't fun we don't have fun with. So, maybe life gets serious. And as we get older, people have hard stuff. But, try to tap into that and see if there's a friendship to be saved. And maybe the neediness dies down because they are actually getting what they need, which is genuine connection.
Yeah. I have a theory too about young couple or people that were friends, inseparable for a long time before they were married or otherwise committed in a partnership of some sort.
Yeah.
What usually happens is the other person is often, the whole opposite attract thing. They're very different from them, but that worked out as a relationship. But for the friend, you don't have the relationship. You just have the different. So the other person the person you married ends up being like, oh man, I just can't get along with her. I used to love hanging out with him, but she drives me crazy. That whole thing, that happens a lot. It happened a lot to me transitioning out of singlehood to adulthood, and the friends I would keep, seeing that change. But then what ends up happening is you find couples like Brian's crazy neighbors or my friend Darren up the street. Him and Ruth Ann are super cool, and they're the kind of people, I don't know if I'd ever been friends with them before, but as a couple, they're the kind of the perfect match for Kim and I. So we're close that way. And I think it's just Sidian in the chat said it earlier. It was a little stark, but he said, where is he? He says, nothing lasts. Existence is temporary. Embrace oblivion.
Wow. Okay.
Amen.
But there's there's some wisdom in that. Don't get so tied to a thing. Just let things be what they are naturally. If they're not great, then scooch away from them and move to ones that are.
And imagine a world where we taught kids how to grieve.
Yeah.
Like that. Well, let's start with like basic sex ed first, and we'll get eventually to the stuff that matters. Like a personal finance class might be a good requirement, everyone. But I don't know who I'm talking to, but the people out there making all the decisions. But take grieving as a social, emotional, psychological skill. We're all crap at it naturally, and we just don't do well. And that's not letting go. That includes letting go of anything, not simply death, because death is hard enough, right? But like moving from one thing to another, or friendship to another, or ending an era, or the sweatshirt you've worn for 25 years, it's time to say goodbye. Like we're just not great at that. And it would be interesting to see, if we could raise a generation of hyper emotionally intelligent kids, what would happen?
Try to imagine. Imagine. Yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, you like that? I always use that.
Imagine.
When we need to imagine. Something. Well done, everybody. Nice stuff today. Ask Wendy with an I is the hashtag. You want to keep using that. You can also send us your emails, themorningstream@gmail.com, or you can go to therapythursdays.com and submit questions there if you like. Wendy, any thing you want to give a little pimpery this week, or anything going on?
Yeah, lots going on. We're moving tomorrow.
What?
Again? What, back to Sweden? Jeez.
Yeah, we're out.
Didn't give this place a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know you're moving.
We bought a house.
This is news. All right.
Yeah,
You didn't even know this? This is hilarious.
I had no idea.
Yeah. It's
like you find this out at the same time we do on the show.
Yeah. For real.
Well, it's also because what am I going to ask you to come help me move?
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
If Scott was a real friend, you would.
Yeah, if I was a real friend.
Energy vampire.
He's an energy vampire. He's an energy vampire brother. Those exist. He's not that. No, not at all. We found a house. It was pretty quick. And then the crazy thing is we were supposed to close a couple weeks ago, and the flooding that's kind of happened because no one was living in it. It was some old folks that had passed away.
Yeah.
That some water was coming in the basement door and just like obliterated. So now we have all new carpet, all new paint before we bought it. Can you believe that happened to me? It's always the other way around.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, no, that's good. So, that's a good sign. And unless it floods
again. I didn't
even
know what to do with myself. Like, wait a minute.
Were the old people there when they died?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. They were both in rest homes.
Okay.
But the mom just passed away recently from the rest home, so the house has been sitting there a little bit empty.
I was gonna say, otherwise you got a surprise waiting for you in that basement. Just saying. Geez. I'm just saying, a little bloat in there, a little bloated. Little bloated body floating around, but it's fine.
It's getting worse.
It's fine.
No, it's all good. So it's all closing and fine and yay and here.
That's great.
And here's the crazy part. We bought this house, or we were buying this house without ever seeing the yard because there was 3 feet of snow and we had no pictures. And so we were like, let's hope there's nothing gross. Anyway, it's melted and there is this totally cute garden and raspberries. And if you know me, you know how much I love raspberries, and raspberries that have been around a while, taken care of by old people. Like I'm going to die.
Oh, can you imagine a better raspberry? It'll be amazing. Yeah,
I know. So that's my good news for the weekend.
We grew those when we were kids, and I remember I have a very vivid memory of Wendy being, I don't know, I was probably 12, so you were probably 6, and you were out in those raspberries, and your face was all pink and smeared with raspberry goo because you would just go out and eat them raw off the stalk out there.
Oh, so good.
And I don't think you cared if there was an earwig in one of those or anything. You were just like...
Well, I take it out first and then I eat it.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if they're called earwigs everywhere else, but they were called earwigs here. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, they're called silverfish.
Oh.
No, there's 2 different things. Earwigs have the little pincers on the end.
Yes.
Oh.
Silverfish are just like little silver squirmy little bugs that don't have pincers.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So an earwig is actually called an earwig then? Or is it because I've heard other people go, no, those are called
people call them pincer bugs, but I've always heard them called them out here earwigs.
Okay.
Totally called them earwigs.
I feel better about it now, having that name.
Which is so creepy.
Yeah.
Earworms now, and they run around singing "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Exactly. Those are earworms. But like in that Star Trek 2, when they put the earwigs in people's ears.
Yes.
Yeah. Those were earwigs.
That's my only memory of an earwig.
Yeah.
That's what earwigs evolved into in the future, apparently.
That scene just about ruined me when I was a kid.
See, I'm a little bit nerd. I remember that.
Yeah, you're fine.
All right. Okay.
Fine.
We'll let you back on for one more Thursday, but if you can't name 3 characters from the Serenity, then you're off.
Oh, yeah. Can you do that?
I like Serenity. Okay. I really like that show.
Well, you liked it when it was called Firefly, or are you talking about Serenity?
I'm talking about the ship being Serenity, and she knows what she's still on good ground.
Okay. Good ground. Name 3 people on the Serenity on the ship. Can you do it?
Okay, the guy, and then he had a girlfriend, and then there was.
Good. Yeah. You've nailed
Here's
it.
the problem. I don't remember names.
That's okay. You're close enough. I believe.
Language.
I now believe you've watched Firefly.
Out there, they can't remember names.
I now. Oh yeah, nice. I now believe that you know at least something about Firefly and Serenity. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I love that show.
It's really good,
I'm
right?
sad it got canceled.
Yeah,
Boom, it got canceled.
It was
That's
lame.
good enough. All right, you're in.
She's in. You're still in. We can do this again next week.
Back on the good side.
Yeah, good graces.
Barely saved yourself.
Wendy is Wendy Dunford on Instagram. You should check her out there. Lots of photos and stuff and fun things. Although you haven't put one up for a while, have you? It's been a while.
I know, because Minnesota's boring.
Yeah, Minnesota's boring. But not
I'll
really.
find something.
You'll find something. Don't worry. It's about to warm up and all the boring goes away. And
all the naked, fleshy parts come out.
Gross.
What am I saying?
We'll see you later. Bye. See, she's just like me. You all think, oh, she's this uber educated therapist lady. At the end of the day, she's just like me.
Yeah.
She makes inappropriate little ending. I mean, I'm telling you, we all come.
Although, here's where the big difference was. At one point, she's talking about, being able to laugh at her friend when her friend rubs essential oils on, and then she paused.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I realized the two different paths that you and Wendy would take.
Yeah, because I would have said penis, wouldn't I?
You totally would have said penis.
Yeah, you're right. Brian knows where the fork in the road is. That is definitely a fork in the road.
Yeah.
All right.
Still, that's all right. That's all right. It's a good fork, and I'm glad I'm on this. I'm glad I'm on the left side of that fork.
I am happy. Yes. Wait, which side? Is that the good side? I don't know how that stuff works.
It's this side. I don't know if it's the good or bad side.
Fantastic. All right. Well, there you have it. That's the end of today. I'm checking to see if there's a mashup. I don't think there is. Let me just double check.
Oh, really? There was one that he had of you just making indeterminate noises, and I don't know if that was one that he
must be working
his
on
patrons.
Oh, maybe it's just a patron thing. Maybe because it's not in the shared. I know that. It's not
okay. Oh yeah. So if you're not a patron of TMS mashups, you need to become a patron so you can hear that.
Yeah. Apparently, I make just a bunch of stupid sounding things all the time.
I listened to the first minute of it and then I said, oh my god, okay, I gotta wait, and I'm gonna listen to the rest of it on the show.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna go back and listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, why not? But we'll have a mashup on Monday. He's always Johnny on the spot with the Monday edition. All right, so here's the plan today. I am not doing Frog Pants Plays because my voice sucks and I need to rest it for stuff later today.
Frog Pants rests.
I will instead be meeting with Brian right after the show, so we're doing that. But then tonight, what is today? Thursday?
Thursday.
I better look at the calendar. This is dumb. I should know all this. Coverville went up yesterday, right? That's up.
It did, yes.
Right,
there was a cover chain. I had numerous OBS problems and microphone issues. Like basically OBS, I have to launch OBS and I have to wait for it to figure out the microphone situation before it finally picks it up. That's the other reason that I'm going to be doing a big old reinstall of everything on this computer this weekend. I'm not looking forward to it, but it must be done.
Yeah.
So I actually I couldn't do it with a stream. I had to do it offline, and offline, I can't do offline anymore. It's ruined me. I've been spoiled by having an audience.
It's weird. It's I think it works for FilmSack because we're used to it.
Yeah.
But
right.
Every other show, if I did it with this show, it'd feel so weird. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like how would that even feel? I mean, we could do it if we had to, but
no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
I mean, I think we could.
I'd have to give up. I would just give up.
That would just be it. You'd be done. You'd be out. Okay.
Be done. I'd be out. I do have you know what I might try doing is I've got an Elgato Stream. Little stream deal.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I can use that to plug into Twitch the way that OBS would plug into Twitch. I just don't know if I have to have a game attached to it.
Well, you only need an HDMI.
Far Cry 5 in the background or something.
You just need an HDMI source into it. That's it. It can be anything. Yeah. So anything that outputs to HDMI, you'd be able to capture.
Far Cry 5 will be going in the background, no sound or anything. Maybe not even playing, but then in front of it will be like it'll be the new background, and then.
Well, you can always capture it and then hide it, like.
That's true. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even have to show it. It's like the naked below the belt camera I have hooked up for me here that I never show.
Hello.
I just hide it. Yeah.
I've seen it. It's 4K.
Yeah, it's in 4K, UHD, high def. Every pixel counts. All right, we're gonna go. Before we do, a reminder that we have a weekend show also on Friday nights, afternoons really, that is called the TMSPM show, and it exists because of your support at patreon.com/TMS. Now, some of you may have not ever done that. I would recommend you go check it out, look at the levels, see if there's something that doesn't entice you, or at the very least just say, can I be separated with a couple of bucks a month for this show that has massive content? And the answer is usually yes. So go check it out, patreon.com/TMS. You can find that.
You can even get tea, delicious tea.
Tea is really good. I got a whole box. In fact,
I was going to say, you better have some tea today. See if that helps your voice.
Oh, yeah. I did this morning, and it didn't really do much, so I'm going to try a different kind later. Maybe I'll ask Gwen what I should be doing.
There you go.
For a cold.
Yeah, I'll totally recommend something.
Anyway,
smart.
Hopefully. Yeah, she is smart. SMRT. I mean, SMART. That's it. Let's get out of here. Frogpants.com/TMS for everything else. Brian, do you have a song for us?
I do, and it's even going out to somebody who's in the chat room right now, Tanuki Monster.
Nice.
Who also won earlier this week, or not won, but was part of Battle Royale, if I remember correctly. Today, April 4th, is Tanuki Monster's birthday, and as a child of the 80s, I've always had a love for synthy 80s pop music. I'd love to hear a great cover of West End Girls by the Pet Shop Boys. Thanks to you, Scott, and everyone in the Tadpole for making every day more enjoyable. Much love to you all. Best, Tanuki Monster. Aww. So first off, happy birthday, Tanuki Monster. And sounds like we have a lot of similar taste in music, because I'm a big fan of synth pop, new wave, 80s stuff, as is Scott.
Yeah, still love that. By the way, those people making any more albums that we like? The girl-fronted band that Phases?
Not yet. I follow Z-Berg on Twitter, and I keep an eye on what she's doing. She's released a couple solo things, and I'll forward you some links to listen to those, because her music is great, and she's just fun to watch.
Yeah, I love her. I love their whole vibe and everything of it. Like everything you just described is like totally Phases for me. So anyway.
Anyway, so Pet Shop Boys. There is a UK duo that does nothing but Pet Shop Boys covers, and but they're women, and they go by the name West End Girls. You think they could probably just do Pet Shop Girls, but they do West End Girls. They did released an album in 2006 called The West End Girls Go Pet Shopping, and from that album is this cover of their namesake, The West End Girls by the West End Girls, from their album Goes Pet Shopping.
Fantastic.
Going out to Tanuki Monster.
Perfect. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 3:30. Come on back for that. Instance in the morning, other stuff in the afternoon. Big weekend, film sack, all that. So come back for all of it. We'll see you then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I'm mad because you're so weird.
Okay.